Hi everybody, this is Button Squishers. I'm here to do a Raid Shadow Legends video on our man Baron here. He is a legendary Bannerlord attacker. I unlocked him about a month ago and finally started getting around to developing him specifically for Arena because he can do some just wild amounts of damage. And I came across this mission to reach Gold 1 in Arena, and so I'm working on my Arena team now, and he's a part of that space. He's the main damage dealer I've got on the team. And I had seen some videos that are from this crew, so Hell Hades, Murder Inc., Velar Gaming, Raid Oversimplified, and Petty Parade, who put together some really informative videos that helped me in terms of putting my development, like how to prioritize the development of the kit and basically how to build him. So what I want to do is kind of showcase, because they're like way further along in terms of development and where they're at in like where they're at in total number of stats. So this is much more of a mid-game build versus end-game build, which is what more of those videos were kind of geared towards, which really showcases the later game utility. But I wanted to do this for other people who might be earlier or mid-game level, just to see how good is this character and what can he actually do, as long as you have decent gear on him. So I'll talk about the kit in terms of his skills, artifacts, masteries real quick, and then we'll kind of take him around in terms of a couple different parts of the game, so you can actually see things in action and see how he functions. So his A1, arguably the most important thing in his entire arsenal here. It attacks one enemy and will attack all remaining enemies with surplus damage if the target's killed. Has 10% chance to unlock secret skill Skypiercer. So this surplus damage thing is really critical towards him doing just wild amounts of damage. So if he kills somebody, the damage that did not get applied to the person who died then gets applied to everybody else. But it's like a legitimate AoE. It's not that the surplus damage. So if there was 10,000 damage that didn't get used against the character who died, 10,000 damage goes then against each other character, not spread or equally applied. So it wouldn't be like 3.33 thousand damage. It's 10,000 per person. So it does a lot of extra damage if you can get this to proc. His A2 attacks one enemy, places 60% decreased defense for 2 turns, and it's guaranteed. So this is awesome because you do not need accuracy on this character whatsoever. It's one of the only abilities I've seen that has a guarantee like this, which is just fantastic. I wish this applied to an entire team, even if it's still a single attack. That would make his kit so much more useful. And then it also has a 20% chance of unlocking the Skypiercer. The third ability, Righteous Charge, attacks one enemy, damage increases according to the number of buffs on the champion. So the more buffs you put on him, the more damage he'll actually do. And this also has the highest chance of unlocking the secret skill, Skypiercer. So what is Skypiercer? Well, this attacks all enemies. So there's a legitimate AoE, but you cannot use it at your leisure. It has to unlock through these 3 other abilities. So it attacks all enemy, deals pure damage, ignores shield, which is great, and block damage buffs. So it does a lot of extra damage comparatively to the other skills. So this is his major heavy hitting ability, but you have to unlock to get it. So this is really where his kit shines. It's all in this A1. And I'll show you kind of how that operates in just a second. So his auras increase ally attack in all battles by 33%. So let's take a quick look at his artifacts. So I ran with Savage and Cruel sets so that it could. I was trying to ignore as much defense as possible, so that all of his attack is basically getting applied, or as much of it as I can get to apply. And I was fortunate enough that I had the right type of pieces of gear to get him over 100% crit rate. Not amazing crit damage. This is why I'm saying he's kind of a mid-level development or build. I want this way higher than it actually is. And hopefully I'll get it there in the not too distant future. But the kit is basically all geared around crit damage, crit rate, and I've got one of these that has attack percentage. So anything that's basically controlling for damage is really the way the kit's designed. Crit rate gloves. Eventually I want to swap these out for crit damage gloves. I just don't have them, so my gear is kind of short. especially in terms of like Savage gear and Cruel stuff. Like I just didn't have amazing pieces available, but I got these to work. So these two other pieces are attack percentage on the chest, attack percentage on the boots. This is actually why he runs so slow. I'm not running speed. I'm trying to maximize. He's really running as a glass cannon. And then crit damage here. If I ever run the character in, if I try to use them in dungeons, I would probably put some health and defense on these two pieces. But right now I've got attack with a little extra attack there, and then resistance because this was the only piece of or the only particular banner for the Bannerlord I even had available. So that just kind of went on, and you can see it's not even like my gear is not even fully maxed out yet. So he's running a little bit lower than he should. Total stats, I've got some stuff that can help boost his health and defense a little bit, but both of those you can see are just painfully low. But that's not the point of the character for me. I'm using him as a legitimate glass cannon. So I've got him just a little over 4,000 attack. I want to get that up closer to 4,500 or 5,000 if I can eventually get there. Over 100% crit rate, which is critical. Critical crit rate, get it? That's funny. And then crit damage, I'm at 160%. That'll eventually, when I get the masteries all finished, I'll get another 20% here. But you can kind of see I'm about half, maybe 2/3 of the way. Because these are like this is the part of development that takes the longest. It's the last two tiers. So I'm running offense and then defense, and it's going to be two specific things that I want to get out of here. Retribution, so there's a 50% chance to counterattack when they lose 25% of their max HP, which is going to happen all the time because he's squishy. So 1-2 hits, and hopefully he'll retaliate and then just wipe out their team in the process. And then down here, aiming for a little extra crit damage. I've thought about maybe doing Helm Smasher, but I would have to play around with it to see which of these. I don't know if anybody has any suggestions which one actually tends to do more damage overall, if it makes more sense to run this way versus this way. But I'll come down to one of these two tiers just because that'll help in Arena. So yeah, that's kind of where he's at development-wise. So you can see his pieces of gear are not fully developed. I have 0 books on him, so no books, no books, no books. Oh, there's no books on that. And then masteries are, I've got quite a ways to go in terms of that process and development. So he's very much middle of the game kind of development and build. I do like these two sets in combination with one another. I was lucky to get percentage attack chance. I want to swap these out for 5 or 6 stars in the future so that he can do even more damage. But yeah, so let's take a quick perusal and see. I was putting a video together actually for my brother showcasing this character just yesterday, and in the process of doing it, I accidentally discovered that they can farm and farm well. Not phenomenal, but they're a pretty decent farmer, like easily under 20 seconds each time, and that's even on full auto. So one of the things, I'll show you how the kit works. And then I'll kind of let it play so you can kind of see how things basically operate. So he's in the lead with 3 pieces of food. Let's turn this off auto, slow things down so you can kind of see what's going on. So if I do this on manual, I will always just use the A1. So remember, this attacks one enemy but surplus damage. So anything that doesn't get applied to the first character, so that's above and beyond this health pool, will get applied to here. So what's nice about this is that he does enough damage so that it not only wipes this character, but it should wipe the entire wave. And the damage here should be anywhere between like 20 to 35 and probably similar numbers there. So here we go. So here's first attack, bam. So 34 to 41,000. Let's do this guy again. 32, 28. Do this guy. Bam, 31, 20. So you can see single shot kills. That's not, and again, this is a mid-game build and capable of doing this with the Cruel set and Savage sets on them, getting 100% crit rate, decent crit damage, a little over 4,000 overall attack power. So he has a genuine utility. So let's see how fast we can do this. So if you could control for the space and actually just do this. Oh, see, that's the one time that occasionally this guy will survive because I don't quite have his damage up quite high enough. But you can see, I mean, that was 11 seconds there. That's not that great, but like I got it all the way down to 7 when I got the timing perfect. But here, I'll actually put this on full auto so you can actually see he can, in fact, farm. And I realized this on accident. He opens with his A2, which is what slows things down a little bit. But then from this point forward, he's just doing his A1 because he doesn't have any buffs on himself, so he'll never use his A3. Oh, that was Skypiercer. I wish I could have seen that damage. Maybe I'll be able to watch that on replay. But yeah, so 12-second full auto run for Baron, mid-level development, definitely works as a farmer. And actually that frees things up because I used to use Kayle because he was my opening champion and he was my farmer for the longest time. Well, now that this guy's doing it and he's doing it faster, I just actually am swapping them out. So now that you've seen him there, I ran out of keys for Faction Wars, but he can do fairly well here. I haven't tried him in dungeons yet. Definitely won't waste my time in Clan Boss because you just get one-shot killed. But here's where his real development is kind of coming into play. It's trying to get Arena running as smoothly as I can. So the team I basically, this is a pretty standard comp. In terms of a speed nuke team. So I've got a speed control character. So she's got the speed aura. She increases turn meter. She gives 24%, or her speed up ability. She decreases turn meter here. Stag Knight basically is applying defense. He has an AoE attack that applies defense and attack down. Lanicus is critical for this composition. He can probably run without her, but he works definitely better with her, because she does a call assist, so her A2 calls assist, so all of them basically attack a single character. And if we can get his A1 to basically kill, then all the damage gets shared amongst the team. So let's kind of see how this works. I'm still fairly new to this, so I'm not sure if I'm running things exactly as they're supposed to be. But I'll kind of walk through the strategy here. So the first step here is I'm increasing my speed, so that's giving me more turn meter, increasing my speed, and decreasing their turn meter all at the same time. So it's a big control of who gets to go first. So you saw how slow they got, how much faster we're operating. And you notice, like, he's running 103 speed, so look at him. He's almost the next person to go. Lanicus is faster, obviously. Sorry, this is Stag Knight's turn. So his A2 is going to apply the decreased defense and decrease attack. So let's go ahead and hit them. Bam. And then Lanicus's ability right here, what we're going to do is try to see if we can get this to kill this guy, because he does have decreased defense. So she's going to call assist. Bam, everybody goes in, and he nuked the entire team. So that's kind of how his kit works. I'll do it one more time to see if this is dangerous. They might actually go faster than me. Let's try this team. But that's the basic setup to get him to operate properly in Arena. If I can actually, come on, select. So it's the exact same strategy as before. Good, that's good. Let's see, who's going to be the harder to kill person? Probably Rain Beast, I would assume. They probably have higher defense. So my hope is that this doesn't just nuke him or the entire team. Good. Oh, cool. So I got Skypiercer to proc. This is fantastic. So if Skypiercer didn't proc, then I would just do an A1 probably against Kayle, because I'm guessing he probably has the least amount of health out of that team. But we're going to do Skypiercer just to see, because I haven't seen this go off that much. So let's just see how much damage this can actually do. Bam. I don't know, it looks like 44 to 45,000 damage, something like that. But it nuked the whole team. And that, more often than not, is how the strategy for this team actually works. He is fun. There's definitely some stuff I would like to see that would be different in terms of his kit, like an AoE up-down. That would be fantastic. But overall, so far, even in mid-development, he is definitely showing some very strong utility. So if you have him and you're mid-game like myself, but you were uncertain as to whether or not he could perform, so far so good. And there's still some work, obviously, that needs to be done. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully this was an insightful video, and catch you later.